Could this dog be an emotional support animal? Hey, girl. What about this dog? Even this dog? How about a cat? Ow! 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 I'm gonna talk about that! Ow! Hey, welcome back everybody. My name is Kyle Summers and this is So How Does That Make You Feel? My video series where I'm just going to try to help you and now your fur babies become a better version of themselves. I do have to warn y'all that cats may not make the best emotional support animals. During the break I lost a little bit of blood and I may not see the cat for the next 4 to 6 days. So yeah, cats are kind of selfish creatures.
Are you happy to see me? Ow! Ow!
And so just use caution if you're wanting to use your cat as an emotional support animal. So before I talk about what an emotional support animal is, let's just talk about animals. Animals are freaking awesome. In particular dogs. I'm a huge dog lover. As you can tell, I have 3 myself. And there's just something that dogs can do no matter how upset you are, no matter how bad your day has been. As soon as you see your dog at the end of the day, all your troubles just kind of fade away. They're so beneficial because they love you unconditionally. You feed them the same crap every day and they love you for it. You give them a little treat here and there, scratch them on their belly. They love you. And that feels good. It feels good. So, animals are awesome. So some of y'all may have heard of emotional support animals and wonder, what is that? What is an emotional support animals? Like I just indicated, your pet can be an emotional support for you, but what is that specifically? So it all relates to the Air Carrier Access Act, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and the Fair Housing Act. All 3 of which I'll put a link in the description so you can read more about it. Super good reading if you're having trouble sleeping at night. Essentially what they are saying is that if you have a mental illness, airlines and apartment complexes or homes that have a landlord cannot deny your pet access to that home and cannot charge you any additional fee for that pet to be there. There's a wide spectrum of diagnoses that may qualify. And it could be depression related, it can be anxiety related, it can be learning disorder related. There's a very wide spectrum and it's not narrowed down to specific diagnoses. But there is some gray area because it does relate to the Americans with Disabilities Act, but your diagnosis doesn't necessarily have to qualify you as being disabled for an emotional support animal. Actually, what you would do is you would go to a licensed mental health professional such as a counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whatever, and you would request this, and it's basically like a prescription. In addition to the diagnosis, there has to be a therapeutic need for this animal to be with you. It can't just be that you don't want to pay the deposit fee. What do you mean I can't have my pet here? I'm going to talk to my therapist. An emotional support animal has to have no training. No special kind of training is necessary for your animal to be an emotional support animal. And it's really any domesticated animal. So again, it's very broad on the types of animals that could be an emotional support animal. There was even a recent story where a woman was actually kicked off an airline because they refused to allow her squirrel onto the airline as her emotional support animal. And to my knowledge that she did get the prior approval through the airliner and did all what she needed to do and yet was still kicked off. I do believe that she's pursuing legal matters, but I'll let you look into that story if you choose. But yeah, so you're going to have to notify the airlines ahead of time in order to get it authorized. What an emotional support animal is not, it's not a psychiatric service dog. A psychiatric service dog is just like any other service dog that you've seen or you've heard of, where like a CNI dog or a dog that can detect certain changes in your body such as your blood sugar or a number of different things in order to keep you safe. These dogs have very specific training, and this training can take 3 to 5 years, and the cost can be anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000. So these are the dogs that actually wear the vest. The vest is not actually required, but it can be useful in order to avoid any unnecessary questions, because a psychiatric service dog can be taken anywhere that you go to in public, regardless of their rules on pets and animals being allowed or not. You notice how I said psychiatric service dog. Sorry cats, not allowed, has to be a dog. And what's also different about the psychiatric service dog is that there's very specific diagnoses that would potentially make one qualified, such as PTSD, schizophrenia, things of that matter. And there has to be a very specific therapeutic benefit again for you to be approved for a psychiatric service dog, such as somebody with very severe PTSD who, in order to sleep at night, has to have all the rooms checked to make certain that there's no danger anywhere. And a dog can be specifically trained to kind of clear the house, clear the room, in order for you to feel safe. So that's just one example of a duty that a psychiatric service dog could perform. If your animal, and the reason you need it, is for just emotional support, so that way you just feel more comfortable, you're more than likely probably going to be thinking of an emotional support animal. In order to get approved for the psychiatric service dog, the same process again, you would talk to a licensed mental health professional, and they again would assess you, determine the need, determine the diagnosis, and then give you this letter if they deem that appropriate. I'll actually put a link in the description if you're interested in ever pursuing a psychiatric service dog, how you can kind of get the process started on that. There are actually organizations that can help you pay for this as well, so just be on the lookout for that. So very important things between an emotional support animal and a psychiatric service dog. They can't ask you what your emotional problem is. They can't ask you what your diagnosis is. It's none of their damn business.
You're like, back up! Back up! Mind your business, that's all. Mind your business.
If you're considering pursuing an emotional support animal or a psychiatric service dog and are already in therapy, I highly encourage you to seek out a separate mental health professional in order to request that. If you're seeing a therapist and you ask this therapist for it and they don't approve or they don't agree with emotional support animals, it could really hurt the therapeutic relationship. So they may feel obligated to write one for you even though if they disagree, or if they stick to their convictions and don't write it, the whole relationship with that therapist may be over and done with. So in order to avoid that, it's best just to seek an outside professional in order to receive this in case you're interested in pursuing. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my video on emotional support animals. What are they? How can you get one? And what are the benefits of having emotional support animals and just animals in general? I mean, look at these guys. So much energy. You might be asking yourself, Kyle, why do you have three animals? Well, I feel very emotionally supported right now. So anyhow guys, I hope that you enjoyed that video. If you did, hey, comment down below what kind of animal you have. Like the video, like the video, like the video. And if you enjoyed it, hey, subscribe. Subscribe so that way you catch the next video where again, just trying to help you and your fur babies become a better version of themselves. Alright guys, y'all have a good one. See y'all next time.